This is Chris Calabugas for Think Feature Extra. So one of the things I talk about a lot on my show with when I interview is how broken a lot of our institutions are. So let's talk about talent acquisition for one. So my big problem with talent acquisition is that the system that we've been using to acquire talent is the same system that we've been using for over 100 years, over, even more than that. And the whole resume interview system is just broken. It's just broken because a lot of resumes can be faked. A lot of systems that pick resumes, that match resumes up to job descriptions can be circumvented, can be hacked, and people can interview really, really well. I mean, there's been so many situations where I've heard from people where they've gone through and found the most amazing candidate for the job, and still day one, day two, they leave, or they realize, oh my God, I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake. And you know why? There's no reality there. The interface between the real person and the real job is disintermediated by all this stuff in between that reduces the ability for these things to match up. Because basically it's a matching thing. You want to match a job to a candidate, right? And the problem is that both the resume and the interview and everything in between just give a small glimpse of a small facet of the individual. In the same way, the job description only gives a small facet of the job description. So we're connecting these things based on very, very slim criteria. It's a wonder that the match even happens at all. So here's my suggestion. We need to move back towards more of an apprenticeship model where we bring people in, we give them the job, we let them actually do the job. I mean, I've heard of some situations of this where somebody would bring somebody in and then watch them and see how they would say that they were woodworkers, see how they would treat the tools, see how they would move things. You really can't tell how someone will actually operate in the job unless they're actually in the job. So we need to disrupt this entire system and say, anybody who wants to come and do this job, here is the job description, the simple job description, but then take all comers. As long as they can physically do the work, bring them in, have them do the work, see how they do it. Give them a little bit of time to work it. A day, 2 days, whatever. Give them a small period of time where they're actually going to do the work. And the base level set of criteria needs to be much more open. Let's go to a high-speed apprenticeship model where you churn through as many people as you can until you find the right fit. Because only then, only when you have the job and the individual doing those things together are you going to actually get good talent. So the question is, how do we break up the system? Because if anything, we're going in the opposite direction. If anything, we're going in a direction where we build so much intermediation between the candidate and the job with things like Workday and filtering and job descriptions. Those systems need to be disrupted. And unfortunately, it is the HR departments that are out there that are trying to keep these systems in place. But that's giving you ineffective hires and ineffective talent acquisition. So if we really wanted to do this right, let's break it down and run some experiments. How would this work if you just went to an apprenticeship model for a small set of roles? Would that be a better fit for your organization? Experiment and see what happens.